Suppose a solvent and its a solution. If they are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane allows only solvent molecules to pass through it. Semi-permeable membrane is a vegetable membrane or animal membrane. Now, it is a pure solvent, it is its solution. Say the pure solvent is water and this is like a glucose solution, aqueous solution of glucose, right? Solvent molecules only can diffuse through semi-permeable membrane. What is the direction of diffusion of solvent molecules? That is important. See, solvent molecules from pure solvent diffuse through semi-permeable membrane into the solution. This is the direction of flow of solvent molecules. See, in pure solvent, 100% solvent molecules are there. 100% molecules are solvent molecules only. But in solution, less than 100% solvent molecules are present. So here solvent rich, this is solvent poor. So therefore solvent molecules flow from rich side to poor side. Like in thermodynamics you studied direction of flow of energy. Heat flows from high temperature to low temperature, high electric potential to low electric potential. Gaseous molecules diffuse from high pressure region to low pressure region. Likewise, solvent molecules also diffuse from pure solvent to solution through semi-permeable membrane. This is the direction of flow of molecules. Right? The phenomenon of spontaneous, no external agency here, spontaneous flow of solvent molecules from solvent into solution through semi-permeable membrane. is called osmosis. So the phenomenon of spontaneous flow of solvent molecules from solvent into the solution through semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. Right. Now, for example, 0.1 molar glucose solution. This side 0.2 molar glucose, and these two solutions are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. Then, now here 0.1 mole solute particles are there. This side 0.2 mole solute particles are there. This is less concentrated solution. This is more concentrated solution. So here more number of solvent molecules. Here less number of solvent molecules. So this is rich solvent molecules. This is poor. Right? Now, then the direction of flow of solvent molecules is from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution. Now, this is also called osmosis. So, therefore, the phenomenon of spontaneous flow of solvent molecules from solvent into solution or from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution is also called osmosis. Right? Now, see, for example, this is semi-permeable membrane. Now, here solvent is there. Now, here solvent molecules are there. Right? Now, this side solution. Right? Okay. Now, what is the direction of flow of solvent molecules? From solvent molecules diffuse into the solution side. Right? Right. Now, for example, to stop the process of osmosis, here we apply some external pressure. So, the minimum pressure which is to be applied on solution side to just stop osmosis is called osmotic pressure. The minimum external pressure to be applied on solution side to just prevent osmosis is called osmotic pressure. Pi. It is represented by pi. In some books, it is mentioned as hydrostatic pressure also. Hydrostatic pressure. So this hydrostatic pressure is equal to HdG, or it is pi equal to HdG, height and the density of the liquid, and G is acceleration due to gravity. Right. Now, osmotic pressure is a colligative property. It is a colligative property. That means which depend only on the number of solute particles in the solution. So osmotic pressure is a colligative property. Now, there is one theory, but we don't have that theory. Van 't Hoff theory of dilute solutions. Van 't Hoff theory of dilute solutions. See, he proposed that like particles in ideal gas, particles, you can say atoms, molecules, particles in ideal gas. Likewise, particles in dilute solution behave as ideal gas. Behave as ideal gas. So, you can apply ideal gas equation PV is equal to nRT. So, according to Van 't Hoff, particles in dilute solution, because colligative properties are applicable for dilute solutions. So, solute particles are less. So, therefore, in dilute solution, like particles in dilute solution, particles in dilute solution behave as particles in ideal gas. See, P is proportional to 1 by V at constant temperature. This is Boyle's law. Similarly, P is proportional to T. N, V are constant. This is pressure temperature law. Volume of gas directly proportional to absolute temperature, N and P are constants. Same way, osmotic pressure is inversely proportional to volume of the solution, N and T are constants. Pi is directly proportional to T. V and N are constants, and pi is proportional to number of moles when temperature and pressure are constant. This is Avogadro's law. So, osmotic pressure, it is a colligative property, depend on number of moles of solute particles, right? Sorry. Now, pi V is equal to N R T. Now, here in PV equal to nRT, R is called gas constant. Now, here R is known as solution constant. solution constant. Then the dimensions values of R is the same as here R in this equation. Or you can replace this by S, NST, where S is a solution constant. So dimensions of R, now dimensions of S are same as R, right? Now what is pi? Pi is osmotic pressure, V is volume of the solution. Here it is volume of the solution. N is number of moles of solute particles and S is solution constant. Everything is same, 0.0821 liter atmosphere per mole per Kelvin. Or you can apply, you can give other units also. But for us it is important because temperature is measured in Kelvin, volume of solution is expressed in liters, osmotic pressure in the laboratory it is measured in atmospheres. So therefore generally we use S is equal to 0.0821 liter atmosphere per mole per Kelvin. Right? Okay. Now pi is equal to N by V ST. Now what is N by V? Number of moles per liter, is it not? So it is nothing but molarity, right? So in this equation we do not represent molarity as M, but we represent molarity in by C, which is nothing but concentration in terms of molarity. Remember this point. So actually it is molarity only, but we don't say molarity. Generally we say concentration. Concentration means in which units? It is moles per liter. So generally you say pi is equal to CST, where C is concentration. Suppose if you want to express units also, then you say concentration of solution in terms of moles per liter. S is solution constant and T is absolute temperature, remember, and pi is osmotic pressure, right? So pi also depend on number of solute particles, and as number of particles of solute in the solution increases, osmotic pressure increases. Remember, any colligative property, see, delta TB is equal to Kb into molarity, right? So what is molarity here? Delta TB is equal to Kb into number of moles of solute by weight of the solvent in kg. Similarly, delta TF equal to Kf into number of moles by weight of the solvent in kg. And delta P, what is delta P? P0 minus Ps, lowering of vapor pressure. This is directly proportional to number of moles of solute, or you can write delta P by P0 is equal to XB. What is XB? Number of moles of solute by total number of moles in the solution. Because according to Raoult's law, relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of the solute. So see here, delta TB, suppose weight of the solvent in all the cases is same. Delta TB is proportional to number of moles of solute particles. Delta TF is proportional to number of moles of solute particles. And delta P is also directly proportional to number of moles of solute particles. Pi equal to CST, pi is equal to n by v st. Under similar conditions, again pi is proportional to n. See, delta TB is colligative property, delta TF is colligative property, delta P is colligative property, pi is colligative property. So, generally, any colligative property is directly proportional to number of moles of particles of solute. So, as number of moles increases, colligative property of the solution increases. Delta TB increase, delta TF increase, pi increase, and lowering of vapor pressure increase. Lowering of vapor pressure is colligative property. P0 minus is PS is colligative property. Remember, P0 minus PS is colligative property. So, P0 minus PS increase, delta TB increase, delta TF increase, and osmotic pressure will increase with increasing number of moles of solute. So, see, as number of moles of solute increases, this is very important part for multiple choice questions. P0 minus PS increases. P0 is constant. But P0 minus PS is increasing. So, which means that PS decreases. Next, delta TB. Delta TB means what? TB minus TB naught. Because whenever a non-volatile, non-electrolyte solute is dissolved in pure solvent, its boiling point increase. So, delta TB is equal to. Now, TB naught is constant. So, even though TB minus TB naught is increasing, which means that TB increases. Similarly, delta TF is equal to TF naught minus TF, which means that whenever a non-volatile, non-electrolyte solute is dissolved in the pure solvent, its vapor pressure, its freezing point decreases. TF naught is constant, but TF naught minus TF increases, which means that TF decreases, and with increase in number of moles of solute, osmotic pressure increases. So remember, this is important point. Colligative property increases with increase in number of moles of solute. Next, another important point. As number of moles of solute increases, okay, then osmotic pressure increases, vapor pressure of solution decreases, boiling point of solution increases, and freezing point of solution decreases. This is very important. You have to remember. These two are very, very important points. Clear? Right. Now, for example, you are going to compare two solutions osmotic pressure of two solutions. Say this is pi 1 and this is pi 2. Clear? Now, suppose if pi 1 is equal to pi 2, so that means at the same temperature, both the solutions have same osmotic pressure. Then the two solutions are called isotonic solutions. They are called isotonic solutions. Suppose if pi 1 is less than pi 2, then pi 1 is less, right? Then this is first solution, this is second solution, right? Then solution 2 is called hypertonic solution. Hypertonic solution. And solution 1 is called hypotonic solution. Clear? If freezing point of a solution prepared from 1.25 grams of a non-electrolyte and 20 grams of water is 271.9 Kelvin. The molar mass of the solute will be freezing point of solution prepared from 1.25 grams of non-electrolyte, non-volatile, non-electrolyte. 20 grams of water is 271.9 Kelvin. The molar mass of the solute will be. So one is water. So Tf naught is 0 degrees Celsius or 273 Kelvin. Tf, freezing point of the solution is given 271.9. Next, weight of solute 1.25 grams, weight of solvent 20 grams. Molar mass of the solute we have to find out. MV we have to find out. Now, actually Kf for water is not given, right? Kf for water is not given. Remember, Kf for water they have to give. Definitely they have to give. Or otherwise they have to provide either LF value, latent heat of fusion, or enthalpy of fusion. So 1.86 Kelvin kg per mole. This is Kf for water. Right? Now, delta Tf is equal to Kf into weight of solute by molecular weight of solute into 1000 by weight of the solid. So 273 TF naught, TF 271.9 means it is 1.1. Difference in freezing point, depression in freezing point 1.86, weight of the solute 1.25, molecular weight of the solute we have to find out 1000 by 20. So MB is equal to 1.86, 1.25, 1000 by 20 into 1.1. So if you simplify this, you will get the answer around 105 to 106 you will get. So in board examination and the NEET entrance also, the level of question will be like this only. They will provide the data, then you substitute and we get the answer. Next question. Molar depression constant for water is 1.86 Kelvin kg per mole. What is the freezing point of what is the freezing point of a 0.05 molar solution of a non-volatile non-electrolyte in water? This is very simple question. What is the freezing point of 0.05 molar solution of non-volatile non-electrolyte solute? Molality of the solution is given 0.05 mole per kg and Kf value is given 1.86 Kelvin kg per mole and Tf naught already we know 273 Kelvin. We have to find out the Tf value. So Tf naught minus Tf is equal to 0.05 into 1.86. So therefore Tf is equal to minus Tf naught plus 0.05 into 1.86. You calculate this, simplify, you may get minus value 0.093 degrees Celsius. Here I converted Kelvin scale into degree Celsius. This is the freezing point of the solution. 0.05 molar solution. Next, a cane sugar solution has an osmotic pressure of has an osmotic pressure of 2.46 atmospheres at 300 Kelvin. What is the strength of the solution? What is the strength of the solution? What is the strength of the solution? See here, strength means concentration of solution. Concentration of solution. You can calculate concentration in solution in terms of molarity. That's all. That C is nothing but molarity. So pi equal to CST. So C equal to S into T by pi. 0.0821 liter atmosphere per mole per Kelvin. This is 300 temperature, 2.46 atmospheres. Then you can calculate the concentration of the solution in terms of molarity, moles per liter. Next, 3 by x plus number of moles of solvent, weight of the solvent 100 by molecular weight of the solvent 154. Okay. So here you calculated the x value and substituted here, then you will get the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Second question. Now, I forgot to give information regarding Kf of solvent. Here you write down Kf is equal to Kf of CCl4. Kf of CCl4 is 31.8 Kelvin kg per mole. Kelvin kg per mole. Okay. Right. And density of the solution is given. Density of the solution is also given. Density of the solution is 1.64 grams per cubic centimeters. So we calculated delta TB value, right? And delta TF not calculated, decalculated, right? Okay. Next, P0 minus PS calculated. Now delta TF. See, delta TF is equal to KF into M. Delta TB equal to KB into M. Delta TB we used for molecular weight, right? Delta TF by delta TB is equal to KF by KB. Molarity of the solution is same, so you can cancel it. Delta TF by delta TB equal to KF into KB. KF by KB. Delta TF by delta TB 0.60, KF value 5.03 by KF, sorry, 31.8 by 5.03. So therefore, delta TF equal to 0.60 into 31.8 by 5.03. Here you will get a delta TF value. Okay. Now, here 3 grams of substance dissolved in 100 grams of solvent. So, here you use the density of the solution. Density of the solution is given as 1.64 grams per cubic centimeters. So, what is the total mass of the solution? 103 grams. Mass of the solution. Mass of the solution. Now, density of the solution is 1.64 grams per cubic centimeters. So, therefore, calculate volume of the solution. D equal to M by V. So, V equal to M by D. So, 103 by 1.64 ml. This is volume of the solution. Now, pi V is equal to NST. Pi into V, 103 by 1.64 by 1000, because we have to convert the volume into liters, because we are expressing the solution constant value in liter atmospheres. So therefore, pressure must be, osmotic pressure must be in atmospheres and volume must be in liters. So therefore, number of moles of solute, weight of solute, molecular weight of the solute you calculated, that is, I said X into 0.0821 into 298. So you will get the pi value 1.64 thousand into 3 into 0.0821 into 298 by 103 into X. So simplify this, you will get the answer in atmospheres, right? The average osmotic pressure of human blood is 7.4 atmospheres at 27 degrees Celsius. Then total concentration of various solutes is dash. So pi equal to CST. So C equal to ST by pi 0.0821 300 by pi 7.4. Then you will get concentration in terms of moles per liter. So in NEET examination, you will get this type of questions. You can expect one or two questions. One question is compulsory, maximum two questions. So one or two questions you will get. Definitely it is numerical based question only. Rarely they will ask question on theoretical basis. Next, see the osmotic pressure of 5% aqueous solution of sugar at 15 degrees Celsius is dash. Osmotic pressure of 5%. Here he didn't give, examiner didn't give percentage by weight or percentage by volume. So treat it as a percentage weight by volume. So that means 5 grams of sugar is in 100 ml solution. Suppose if density of the solution is given, definitely you have to calculate volume of the solution, weight of the solution, you have to find out. In osmotic pressure, we use volume of the solution. So density is not given. Therefore, take it as weight by volume. So 5 gram sugar dissolved in 100 ml of solution. Temperature is 288 Kelvin. So now apply the formula. Pi equal to pi into 100 by 1000. Volume must be in liters. Number of moles 5 by 342. Sugar molecular weight into 0.0821 into 288. So calculate pi value. 1000 into 5, 0.0821 into 288 by 342 into 100. So we will get the pi in atmospheres. So this is about dilute solutions. In that first important part of solutions topic, colligative properties. Next class I explain Van Hoff factor. In only one class is required. After that, liquid solutions. See, liquid in liquid solutions are of two types, ideal solutions and non-ideal solutions. So what is the ideal behavior and what is non-ideal behavior, and we will discuss in that. Okay, right.